What if everything we've been taught about life, the things we're expected to do, the ways we're supposed to behave, wasn't really the key to living a fulfilling, authentic life? What if, in our efforts to be kind, to be considerate, to be liked, we were actually losing ourselves in the process? What if, at the end of it all, we looked back and realized that the person we became wasn't truly us at all? This isn't a question many of us like to entertain, because it forces us to confront a deep, uncomfortable truth. We've all spent so much of our lives trying to be what others want us to be, that we've forgotten how to be ourselves. We've become expert chameleons, adapting, changing, shifting to meet the needs, expectations, and desires of those around us. And in doing so, we've lost the one thing that makes life meaningful: authenticity. Think for a moment about how much of your life has been shaped by others' views of you. From childhood, we're told to be good, to be polite, to be nice. We're taught to suppress our desires, our quirks, and our true selves in favor of what's considered acceptable or desirable, and we do it willingly. We wear the mask of who we think we're supposed to be, and we become so good at it that, over time, we forget who we were underneath all of those layers. But here's the painful reality. No one ever told us that pretending, that bending ourselves to fit others' expectations would cost us something precious, and the cost is high. It's not just about feeling lonely or misunderstood, though those are real consequences. It's deeper. It's about losing the essence of who you are, about walking through life as a version of yourself that's been sculpted and molded by external forces, instead of by your own true nature. And that's the paradox. We often think that by being good, by being nice, we're making ourselves worthy of love, acceptance, and admiration. We believe that if we just meet everyone's expectations, we'll finally feel fulfilled. But the truth is, in trying so hard to make others happy, we end up living in a constant state of self-abandonment. We neglect ourselves, our true desires, our authentic selves, because we're too focused on fitting into the boxes others have created for us. But it's not just the people around us who create these expectations. It's also the internal voice that says, "You're not enough unless you're perfect." That voice is the driving force behind so many of our choices, so many of our actions. We become obsessed with being seen as perfect, successful, likable, and always good. We spend years, decades even, living for the approval of others, chasing a kind of validation that can never truly fill us up. Because the approval we seek isn't the real kind. It's a shallow, temporary validation that fades away the moment we don't meet the next set of expectations. Imagine for a moment reaching the end of your life and realizing you never truly lived. You only existed. You existed as a reflection of what others wanted, not as the real, unfiltered version of who you are. How many moments, how many chances did you miss because you were too busy trying to please someone else? Too preoccupied with living up to some arbitrary ideal? How many of your dreams, your passions, your desires got buried because you were more concerned with how others would perceive you? Here's the kicker. It's not just about you. It's about everyone around you too. When we live our lives for others, when we prioritize their needs, their approval, their expectations over our own, we do the same thing to them that we're doing to ourselves. We set the bar so high that no one, including ourselves, can ever reach it. We live in a world where everyone is pretending, where everyone is showing only their best selves. And in doing so, we create a society of facades. Think about your relationships. How many of them are built on the real, raw truth of who you are? How many are based on the version of yourself that you've carefully crafted to fit in, to be accepted, to be loved? We free ourselves from the shackles of unnecessary stress and anxiety. Instead, we direct our energy toward what we do have the power to influence: our thoughts, our actions, and our responses. This shift in mindset is not merely a theoretical exercise, but a practical tool for achieving greater inner peace, resilience, and mastery over our lives. The key to applying this wisdom lies in discipline. The discipline to focus only on what we can change, and the perseverance to remain steadfast even when faced with obstacles that feel insurmountable. Take a moment to reflect on a recent setback in your life. Perhaps it was a job loss, a failed relationship, or a missed opportunity. In moments like these, it's easy to fall into a spiral of negative thinking, berating ourselves for our perceived failures or feeling hopeless about the future. But this is where Stoicism offers its transformative power. We can choose not to let these external events define us. Instead, we can apply the control principle by drawing a clear line between what is in our power to change and what lies beyond our influence. If you lost a job, you can control how you respond to that loss, how you conduct yourself in interviews, how you build your skills, how you network, how you carry yourself through the storm. What you cannot control is the decision of the hiring manager or the state of the economy. The moment you recognize this distinction, you stop wasting mental and emotional energy on things that are beyond your reach and focus instead on your own actions and mindset. This practice leads directly into the second powerful technique, self-dialogue. The way we speak to ourselves in moments of adversity has a profound impact on our ability to persevere. Many of us have an inner critic who constantly undermines our self-worth, telling us that we're not good enough, that we'll never succeed, or that we should give up. But what if, instead of listening to that voice, we chose to speak to ourselves as we would to a friend or a loved one in the same situation? Imagine offering compassion, understanding, and encouragement rather than self-criticism. Instead of saying, "I'm such a failure," try saying, "This setback doesn't define me. I have learned from this experience and will grow stronger." This shift in self-dialogue is a game changer. By speaking to yourself with kindness and understanding, you begin to reshape your entire mindset and perception of your challenges. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as someone capable of overcoming adversity with grace, discipline, and a commitment to growth. Another critical aspect of Stoic philosophy is the power of role models. The Stoics recognize that we don't learn solely from abstract ideas, but from concrete examples of how others navigate life's difficulties. Role models serve as mirrors, reflecting back to us the traits of perseverance, resilience, and calmness under pressure that we can aspire to cultivate in our own lives. Think of someone you admire, a leader, a family member, a historical figure, or even a fictional character who embodies the traits of resilience and determination. What is it about their mindset that allows them to handle adversity so gracefully? Perhaps it's their ability to take a step back, to pause before reacting, or to focus on what they can control, rather than getting bogged down in things they cannot change. Role models help us internalize Stoic principles in a tangible way, showing us that resilience is not something we're born with, but something we can develop through conscious effort. Remind you of something ancient, something sacred. You are not the sum of your failures, nor are you defined by your doubts. You are the same as the stars above, born from the same cosmic elements, filled with the same infinite potential, capable of transformation on a scale you can scarcely imagine. The first step, though, is to acknowledge the illusion. Acknowledge that this cycle of procrastination, this paralysis you feel, is merely a mirage. Like the ancient mystics who gazed into the cosmos and saw not just stars, but the faces of gods and demons alike. You too must look into the unknown and see the truth that lies there. the truth that you are capable, the truth that you are infinite.